All right. Okay. So you guys can go see Ready Player One this weekend? Right?
No. Is that out right now?
It comes out this weekend.
What is?
Ready Player
Did you
One.
guys talk about that during the trailer thing? Or no?
No,
We
because
talked about
there
the week
wasn't
before.
there wasn't a new trailer for Ready Player One.
Oh, okay. You sound a little salty.
Okay, welcome to the Tennessee Podcast. I'm your host, Ben Abrahamian. The very special video podcast, first video podcast, and hopefully every other podcast will be video if this goes well. I'm your host, Ben Abrahamian. Joining me this week is Sally Wardlaw,
Hi, thank you for inviting me again.
Scott Varn,
Sup?
Zach Spencer,
Yay.
Ethan Ravens,
Hi.
and Connor Anthony.
Hey.
Woo! Okay, so this week we have quite a big panel because we're doing something a little different. We have ourselves a bracket of the 16 best Marvel movies, and we're going to find out what number one is. You should see that on the screen right now, and I'll probably post it in the description somewhere. So before we start, let's just get to know everybody. Ethan, what'd you have for dinner last night?
Jeez. I honestly can't remember. So probably... Oh, you know what I had? I had a block of cheese.
A block of cheese.
Yes.
Charlie Day.
No, I had straight up a block of mozzarella cheese.
Why?
Because I'm poor.
Anyone else have any interesting food?
It's pretty normal food.
All right. Well, I don't think we can get weirder than that. Let's get right into it. So, the first matchup is going to be an easy one. We have the number one seed. Oh, by the way, we seeded these based on their IMDb ratings, just to be as unbiased as possible. So that's how we seeded them, and it's going to be single elimination. We'll put them against each other, and then we'll come up with a winner. So the first matchup is the Avengers versus Thor: The Dark World.
Do we even need to
Do we have to talk about
discuss
that?
that?
You don't need to argue for Thor: The Dark World.
No.
No.
I haven't
Okay.
seen either movie.
You haven't
So
even seen the first Avengers?
No.
Wow.
Or the second Avengers. Or Third Dark World. Or Doctor Strange.
Why did we invite you?
Or Black.
I don't know. I keep
That's a good question. We have to invite him.
But we also love him. He's so cool.
all right. So the winner of the first round in a sweeping vote is Avengers versus, or it's Avengers. Yay!
Woo! Who saw that
Yeah,
coming?
it's Avengers.
Who saw that coming? All right, cool. I got one right.
All right. Round two is going to be Guardians of the Galaxy 2 versus Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Does anyone want to start on this debate?
So I watched the first 30 minutes of Doctor Strange today. And then I had to come here. But I do like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was one of my top 4 movies of 2017.
Which you can learn about on the first episode of the Tennessee Podcast. Check it out on studentgamecocktelevision.youtube.com.
However, I think that Doctor Strange is, at least the first 30 minutes of it, was pretty cool. I love the character. I think it's really cool. Even though I think Benedict Cumberbatch looks like a weird dude. But that's a talk for another time, I guess.
He looks like a frog.
He looks weird. He looks like a weird dude. People are in love with him. But I think that Guardians of the Galaxy 2, what made Guardians of the Galaxy so great was just because it was so new and fresh. And what made Doctor Strange so great is because it was so new and fresh. And that's why I voted for Doctor Strange, because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is not as new and fresh as Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Good input.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him.
You haven't seen either?
Nope.
Oh, boy.
Well, okay.
I'm probably gonna be scribed today, which is fine, you know?
Hey, that's all we need.
Okay. I've seen both, and I would say Doctor Strange over Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I thought that Guardians 2 was not nearly as good as Guardians 1. I thought it didn't really do anything all that new. I liked the father kind of relationship stuff between I love Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked how they kind of went with the whole Yondu, versus Kurt Russell, he may have been your father, but he ain't your daddy kind of deal. But I thought Doctor Strange was cooler because, one, those visual effects were, insane.
Yeah.
You got into a lot of, really cool, MC Escher, kaleidoscoping, weird, trippy stuff. And I thought that, that added a lot that we hadn't seen before in really any movie ever. That was just a lot of,
What about Inception?
That's true, but not to the same level
Yeah,
as
you went a bit farther.
Mm-hmm.
We had a city fold over on itself versus a city become
Literally just turning like a
Yeah.
Rubik's Cube.
So the effects were cool, but I found most of the movie just like a rehash of like Iron Man, basically. Like it felt like another Iron Man movie for it's like Ant-Man and now Doctor Strange. Like they all follow the same cookie cutter Marvel origin story, and I just was like I liked the movie. Don't get me wrong, but I found it to be more boring than Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which like yes, Guardians of the Galaxy didn't do a whole lot new, but like I kind of didn't need it to do a whole lot new. Like it was just more Guardians of the Galaxy, and that's
Yeah,
what I liked.
It's a good film for sure.
I would say
I thought the jokes were funnier in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 as opposed to 1. But that's just me.
the cookie cutter thing, you could argue that for any Marvel movie.
But I think he's saying like, or at least Iron Man, you know, Tony Stark and Doctor Strange are both very cocky and very smart and like that type of. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, and like it's the same character just with like a different name and different
Yeah,
powers.
they are very similar if you think about it.
I will say probably the reason I said Doctor Strange over Guardians. I actually didn't really enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Like it was fine. I regretted paying for it in the movie theater because I had my expectations built up from the first Guardians, and I wanted it to meet that. And like most sequels, they don't. And so because I was let down after watching it, it went lower on my list. Because Doctor Strange, I didn't have any expectations going into it because I hadn't seen anything about it before. That's pretty much my reasoning.
So talk about like you were so disappointed in it that you regretted paying for it. Like talk more about that because like that is pretty shocking for me to hear.
I got bored of the daddy issue drama. I know that's like a new thing, and it was like literally the whole plot. I just didn't care about it. I wanted to see something funny. I wanted to see, Chris Pratt do his thing. And I got enough of that, but I was ready for the movie to end about 40 minutes before it actually ended.
I will give you that it does feel pretty long.
Mm.
Like I think it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes, and you definitely
You
felt
feel
that.
It does
yeah.
feel long, yeah, for sure.
Um,
But did you vote for Guardians of the Galaxy?
yeah. So I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 better than Doctor Strange purely because like I didn't care about really any of the characters in Doctor Strange. Even Doctor Strange himself, like you know what's gonna happen. He's gonna like learn everything and blah 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 blah. And like yes, you know what happens in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but like the characters are quippy and they're kind of like they have really good chemistry with each
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
I thought Benedict Cumberbatch and Rachel McAdams did not have good chemistry at all.
Yeah.
I forgot she was even in the movie until I looked it up the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, she's in that movie. And like, I really cannot tell you anything that went on in Doctor Strange. Like, I don't know what, like, they were stealing that, like, eye medallion? What was that for?
The Time Stone.
Yeah, so what does that do?
It's an Infinity Stone. So Dormammu was trying to get it so he could take over the world.
Okay. Also, Dormammu, who is that? Tell me who that is.
I don't really know because Doctor Strange is not someone I'm very familiar with in the comics, but I think like
Who was Mads Mikkelsen's character?
Caecilius.
Yeah.
He was a servant of Dormammu who was like sent to go. I think he also kind of like plays a bigger deal, like Infinity War kind of shit. I think when they like split the timelines or whatever. But I think mostly for the most part, Doctor Strange, that movie's purpose was to set up Doctor Strange as a character, set up that whole like mystical magic part of the Marvel universe, which we haven't really seen before in the movies, but also establish, oh yeah, here by the way is another Infinity Stone that Thanos is going to come looking for.
Does that make it an entertaining movie, though? Or does that just make it a good
I
step?
thought it was entertaining. I think like at this point we're far enough along into the Marvel universe, especially like running up to Infinity War, that a lot of these movies are going to serve as kind of some stepping stones
Mm-hmm.
towards an event that big. I thought that Doctor Strange did a good job of introducing that side of the comics to this world, the MCU as a world, I mean. But I thought it did some really cool, interesting stuff with visual effects that we hadn't really seen a whole lot of before. Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy was just kind of more Guardians, but not as good.
I thought Guardians of the Galaxy looked really good. Like, it was very colorful. The effects were all, up to snuff. And, like, Doctor Strange may have been more inventive, but I feel like they used their effects a lot less. Because there was, like, a solid hour of that movie where he's, like, in that little, I don't know what you call it, like, the sanctuary, and, like, he's just training. And there's, like, nothing going on, and I'm just bored to tears, like, waiting to get to the next thing.
That's where I stopped watching.
Yeah. So that's my big problem, is that they just spend so much downtime at that sanctuary doing training, which yes, there is some slow parts of Guardians of the Galaxy, but the thing that keeps me going through that is the cast chemistry, which Doctor Strange did not have for me. Did you see both movies?
Yeah, so I actually have very similar views to what you were saying about how Doctor Strange, I really can't say much about it because I literally forgot so much of it.
Yeah. Well, we went to see it opening night, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we saw it in 3D as well or something.
Yeah,
it
which was not worth it. But
not a good idea.
I
But
never paid for 3D.
yeah, it was.
one of our friends wanted to see it in 3D, so we humored
Spent,
him.
$8 extra.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
so not
definitely
worth it.
not. It's a pain. But yeah, no, I definitely, for Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I definitely feel one thing I'm hearing around here is that people have these expectations about what it's gonna be because it's a sequel. It's kind of built on what it, the previous movie did. I feel that may let people down, but just versus Doctor Strange, I can't see putting it over that just because I can't say much about that movie. So.
Okay. Does anyone have any final thoughts, Sally or Ethan? You didn't see either of them.
Nope.
Okay, so you can't say anything. But, I don't know. Do you guys have any final thoughts? Because
Not
it
really.
sounds like we're going to vote on this and it's going to be 2-2.
Well, it would be.
It would be 3.
There's
Three on
going
two.
to be 3 on 2.
Well, you only saw 30 minutes.
I definitely have an opinion in it.
All right. All right, so...
All
I guess
opinions
we'll vote
count.
for
Doctor
all-
Strange?
I only saw 30 minutes and then I voted for Doctor Strange.
Oh, you
I
voted
think-
for Doctor Strange?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you voted for
I think that
All right.
says enough.
All right, then Doctor Strange is going to the second round.
That's
That's unfortunate. All right, next
For
matchup, the 4 seed against the number 13 seed. The 4 seed Thor Ragnarok against Iron Man 3. Do we need to have this
Do
conversation?
we have to talk about
Well, even
this?
though we know an actor in Iron Man. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok for sure.
Thor
All
Ragnarok
right,
all the way.
Thor Ragnarok wins this round. Now, next matchup. Number 5, Captain America Winter Soldier against the number 12 seed Ant-Man. Who would like to start?
What happened in Winter Soldier again? I hate to be that person.
They,
It came out a long time ago.
yeah, that was when S.H.I.E.L.D. was, being taken over by Hydra.
Robert Redford was the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., and turns out S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually just a Hydra shell corporation for decades, and no one figured it out.
Hail Hydra.
And
Excuse me?
Bucky comes back. That's when we find out Bucky
right.
somehow survived for 70 years and has been used as the Winter Soldier, who's a heavily trained assassin.
Right.
Then they fight.
There's a whole thing where Samuel L. Jackson pretends to be dead for a little while.
Yeah,
Oh, that was...
The Shield.
Oh, and they referenced Pulp Fiction, right?
probably.
I have
on
seen
his
this
grave?
movie.
Winter Soldier?
Yeah, I think they do.
I forgot that
yeah.
Samuel Jackson dies.
Yeah.
So...
Thoughts?
What is everyone voted for?
Winter Soldier.
I said Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
I would agree.
Soldier as well.
Okay.
Oh, no,
You say
What?
Ant-Man over Winter
okay.
Soldier.
I think
Hold
Winter
up.
Soldier is a better movie. I think...
Good, that's what we're talking
I just
about.
want to say Winter Soldier is not as good as everyone says it is. That's all I want to say.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Then
But
it'll
it's better
lose
than
later.
Ant-Man.
People
Well,
wanted
I
it
mean-
to win the best picture that
Oh,
year, which
no,
I
I
was
agree.
just
But-
no way.
I would say Ant-Man is definitely one of the worst Marvel movies. I would say that.
I would say it's lower tier, yeah.
Never even bothered to see it.
Well, I think what Ant-Man tried to be was Guardians of the Galaxy. It tried to be at least it was presented as the funny Marvel movie, and then it wasn't.
Well, the thing is, it could have been when they had Edgar Wright as the director, but then,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of crap happened, and then they got Peyton Reed, who is not known for
I
anything.
don't think that Evangeline Lilly is particularly interesting.
Oh, she's not a good actress.
Yeah, I didn't think that Michael Pena's character was necessary or very entertaining. I thought they wasted what's the bald guy who's in House of Cards who played Yellow Jacket.
I don't know his name, but yeah.
I
he's
thought
good.
he was wasted.
It's like
I
Michael
thought that
Stone.
they didn't do enough to play with there's one scene where it's they really make a big joke out of Ant-Man's size, and that's the whole thing with the train set in the little kids' room, where
Yeah.
they're fighting on the train set, and you get the big train coming at them, and then you cut away to it just a toy that's falling over.
Yeah.
There's needed to be more
More of that.
playing off of that kind of gag than I think most of the jokes in the movie were Michael Pena making
Yeah.
stupid wisecracks, which I didn't think was very entertaining.
It could have been
Yeah.
very very funny.
Yeah.
Can I see your pen? Thanks. Okay, so Captain America wins that one?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. The next matchup, the number 2 seed Guardians of the Galaxy versus the number 15 seed Thor. Anyone want to argue that, or are we going to pick Guardians of the Galaxy?
I vote for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree.
Guardians of the
Alright.
Galaxy.
Yeah.
All right.
I do like Thor though.
Once we get into like the next
Oh.
level. it'll be
Okay, so
boring.
what do you like about Thor? Tell me that.
I really like Loki as a character. I think he's one of the most interesting characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I like Asgard, and I liked it being like the first time anybody really saw it on film.
But you're saying that with like the knowledge of the comic books,
Kinda, yeah, a little bit.
whereas like someone like me.
But yeah, I also just like think Norse mythology is cool in general. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a fun superhero
of
movie.
that movie? Because I do not.
Thor ended up getting banished. I forgot what the actual reasoning was that he got banished, but he gets sent to Earth. Loki ends up taking over Asgard. He sends like the exterminator down to get him to come back to Asgard and fight Loki.
I don't know a single thing. I do
Remember
not
that thing
remember
its
that.
face
at all.
opens up and it
Yeah,
shoots
like I
fire out?
remember the shots, but I
Yeah.
just do not remember anything.
There's
I
a whole
remember-
joke about like they're in the diner on Earth and Thor
Yeah.
like drinks the coffee and he's like,
Another
"This
one.
drink, I like it. Another."
That's something that I love about Thor is like it's funny, but I feel like it's never like Ant-Man where it's like we're trying really hard to be funny right
Yeah.
now. Please
Mhm.
laugh.
That's because
Except for, like-
Chris Hemsworth is really fucking funny.
Yeah, and then like Thor Ragnarok,
Excuse me.
they just went all the way with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thor.
Guardians of the Galaxy wins. Next matchup, number 7 seed, the recently released Black Panther versus the number 10 seed Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You know, I'm gonna change my answer on this one. Let me see my pen back.
Okay,
Oh shit.
are you gonna vote Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Yeah.
Because I'm also gonna vote Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I haven't seen either.
Me neither.
I've only
Okay.
seen Spider-Man: Homecoming, but I just assumed that Black Panther would win since all the hype.
Yeah.
I think Scott and I are pretty part of the minority in saying that Black Panther was not as good as everyone says it is.
Yeah.
But Black Panther was really cheesy for me. Like, not just that one line, but like the whole thing was just so formulaic. And like, I thought Spider-Man was a little like. Spider-Man had the benefit of being like a light teen comedy, whereas Black Panther took itself pretty seriously, and it was really hard for me to get into it. And like, I also had issues with like a lot of the action scenes. I
Yeah.
didn't think it was very well directed, but.
Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's one where he gets locked in that warehouse and he's experimenting. I saw it one time. iPhone recording of a screen. I remember that. And from what I had to stop it halfway through because I couldn't finish it. From what I will see,
Probably because it was on my iPhone.
yeah, like I couldn't watch it. It was terrible. From what I saw from the 10 minutes of Black Panther that we watched from an iPhone filming a movie screen versus what I saw of Spider-Man: Homecoming, Spider-Man had acceptable cheesiness to it
Yeah.
because it's
Well,
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man
yeah.
is like a quippy, funny
For sure,
hero.
for
Like
sure.
he always is. Like he's always
That's his
been.
character.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. Let me see that. I'm gonna change. I didn't realize I had seen Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I think
Yeah.
again, like something that you have to take into account is just the freshness of this new hero, Black Panther, versus.
Yeah. I think that.
I mean, Spider-Man has been done so many times.
Mhm.
You know?
Too many
Probably,
times.
probably the most out of any character in this whole.
but the movie was very well received.
No, I
Like,
think
Yeah.
it was
a lot of
a
people
good
liked
movie,
it.
but I think again, just the freshness
I think
is
that
something that
Tom
people-
Holland is probably the best Peter Parker we've gotten
Mhm.
so far
Yeah,
in the last
very good.
15 years
For
or whatever,
sure.
however long it's been.
Wasn't he
Um,
actually a teenager?
I think he's like
our age.
20.
Yeah. One
So he looks like a teenager. Though.
One issue I did have with Spider-Man was the character Karen, like the suit, was like a developed character and was like really funny and like almost like his mentor. And then like she kind of like dies basically because like his suit gets taken and never like comes back and it's like, hey, I'm back, here I am. That's just a small issue I have with
Well, I
him.
mean, in Infinity War, he's got like full robot suit now.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
the movie.
It's
Well,
no,
I've
it's in
seen
the
the
movie. It's in the
trailer,
trailer.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Avengers or something.
No, well, yeah, yes.
He hasn't
Avengers
seen
Infinity
it.
War.
See?
The one
How
that's
have you
coming out.
not? How have you gone this far, seeing all the other movies and not?
I just like
seen this?
happen to see these movies. I'm not like I don't give a shit about the Marvel universe. I just like happen to see these movies because they're just like good movies.
But
I'm so disappointed. All right, I get. So one last thing I'll say about Black Panther, I did like the character, and obviously like it did a lot for like representation and diversity, which was really awesome. But I just thought, as far as a film goes, I thought it was weaker. I thought it was really boring. And Spider-Man, like I didn't even like I wasn't huge on Spider-Man, but I definitely liked it more than Panther.
I do have to say, this is kind of on topic. One of my biggest issues with the MCU so far has been one line from Spider-Man, and it was in Civil War, where they're fighting at the airport, and Ant-Man gets really big, and Spider-Man's like, "Hey, have y'all seen that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back?" Like,
That killed you?
it killed me because he's like talking like that really old movie. Like, come on, Peter Parker's a nerd. Like,
Yeah, he would know.
he would, yeah,
Yeah.
that, yeah,
Fellow kids.
exactly.
All right, so Spider-Man wins.
Don't they like build a Lego Death Star or something in Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Yeah, they like drop it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
like it wouldn't be
yeah.
that really old movie to Peter Parker. It would be
That awesome.
like
movie.
Empire Strikes Back, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
All
My
right.
vote is for Spider-Man.
All right,
Spider-Man,
so
I guess,
Spider-Man
wins,
goes to
yeah.
the next round.
I'm shocked. Also, I thought Black Panther
I'm
would
shook.
kill. I'm shook.
Shook it.
I guessed
Shook
all
it.
these right so far.
Wow.
Well, you are the
Hey,
person
quick
who's
note.
seen all of them.
Don't click the pen as much because the
Yeah.
mic is
Also, you
gonna-
just changed your answer, but whatever.
Well, I changed it correctly, so.
All right, on to the number 3 seed versus the number 14 seed. Iron Man versus Iron Man 2. Does anyone want to fight for Iron Man 2?
I just have a question. What even happened in Iron Man 2?
Bored.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Mickey Rourke had a horrible Russian accent.
I
And
want my board.
He had like
He had-
chains.
he had the electric whips.
Chains
Yeah,
and whips?
Yeah.
Thanks.
What
um,
kind of movie is this?
yeah, my
But I'll
vote's
put Iron Man.
my vote's with Iron Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Chains and whips.
Okay.
Cool.
This next one might be a mix-up. I don't know. The number 6 seed versus the number 11 seed. Captain America: Civil War versus Avengers 2.
Once again, what happened in these movies?
So Avengers
Have you seen
2.
any of these, Sally?
No, I've actually seen them. I just think their titles are so like boring that I don't remember
It
what
is,
happened in
yeah.
them.
Civil War is one where Ant-Man grabs his airplane. He's at the airport, really big. Both teams
Yeah.
are
Civil
fighting.
Oh,
War
okay.
is the one where
Everyone's
they all
fighting.
get grumpy and
Yeah.
fight each
Right,
other.
okay.
And Avengers is the one where they're not grumpy and fighting with each other.
Wait, what are they fighting in Avengers 2?
Ultron, the robot.
Oh,
And they
okay,
had that
okay,
like
okay.
old city, I forget the name.
Sokovia.
Yeah.
Not a
No,
real
yeah,
city.
Avengers
Yeah.
2. Civil War is just a sequel to Avengers 2. The only reason they
It's
call
like
it a Captain
Avengers-
America movie. Yeah.
Do more stuff.
Avengers 2.5,
Yeah.
basically. So I feel like Civil War is gonna win this one, right?
Yeah.
I'll
Probably.
just say real quickly, like I did like Avengers 2. Like I thought it was a dumb popcorn movie, and that was good enough for me. Like I liked seeing all the CG and all that. But
Oh, I definitely enjoyed Avengers 2. It was actually hard for me to make the decision.
really,
Yeah.
I think Civil War is far and away better than Avengers 2, but I still like Avengers 2. Like Avengers 2 is up there more than like Doctor Strange and Black Panther for me.
See this
I
one?
loved Quicksilver and the new girl that got introduced.
I
Like,
know.
I like-
She's
like-
awesome.
I like Quicksilver.
You
Elizabeth
not
Olsen is so
Quicksilver-
she's
that was
amazing.
such a-
I like the X-Men version of Quicksilver like infinitely better, but like
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
the only reason they
more
introduced
screen
Quicksilver was to kill him and be like, I mean, as I've said many times on this podcast, even like my biggest problem with the Marvel universe is they don't kill anybody. Like, there's no stakes. And then I feel like with this one, there's like, oh look, we killed somebody. It's like, yeah, you killed the dude you introduced an hour ago. Like, congratulations. For me, this one was kind of difficult, but not because I like, because Avengers 2 is kind of the movie that like made me start questioning if I still was like into the Marvel movies, and then Captain America: Civil War was the one that kind of like put the nail in the coffin. Was like, yeah, I'm kind of like not so hyped for these anymore.
So tell me why you. Actually, we'll get into that later with the next matchup.
Okay.
Civil War is going forward.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's the end of the first round. Let's go into the second round of this here March Madness bracket. So we have the number 1 seed Avengers, the first one, versus the number 9 seed Doctor Strange. Who would like to start? Zach, start. I'm gonna make you start.
I mean, Avengers is not my choice. It was the first of that. It's the first time we got that whole thing. Doctor Strange hardly even beat out Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It wasn't anything new except for the special effects that they did. Like you said, it was just kind of the cookie cutter thing. So I feel like Doctor Strange is just a stepping stone movie towards Infinity War. I don't think it contributed to anything else. It was just like, we have to have this character in Infinity War, so we're going to make a movie about him real quick. You're not going to remember it, but you'll know when he's in there. Avengers actually was made for the Avengers, you know.
Mhm.
It wasn't a stepping stone. It was Avengers. I don't know.
Huge.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's kind of a stepping stone because like it takes them so long to get together and like
Get to Avengers.
yeah, like no. In the movie Avengers, it takes them so long to like
Become the Avengers.
be the Avengers, and like there's like it's a 2.5 hour movie, and the first 2 hours of it are really slow to me. And like yeah, you know, like seeing all these characters interact for the first time is cool, but like they're just arguing with like they're picking at each other the whole time, and like I don't know, it's really slow for me, and like the last 30-45 minutes are awesome, but like I don't know.
So you're saying
Doctor Strange over Avengers?
No, I'm saying Avengers, but I just want to throw
Okay.
I want to throw in my devil's advocate.
Is
there.
anyone-
Also, the Hulk is just like unpopular opinion. The Hulk is my favorite superhero. I fucking love the Hulk.
Hulk is cool.
And him in that movie, like you know, on the walls where he's like slamming in circles on the walls.
Yeah.
It's just like I watch that scene all the time because I'm just like, oh man, I just love the Hulk.
Yeah, he is kind of underdeveloped.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he gets very like I wouldn't say developed, but he has a pretty big role in Thor Ragnarok.
The Hulk.
Yeah,
But doesn't he, like,
you
do something that's
I
so
hate
random?
him in Thor Ragnarok so
In
much.
Wait,
Thor
really?
Ragnarok?
It's
Yeah.
so cheesy.
I mean, he's like a main character of Thor Ragnarok.
Like the
Doesn't
whole
he
thing.
feel
We'll get
like-
to that. We'll get to that in the
Okay,
next match.
okay.
All right, so Avengers is moving on. Everybody, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Number 1 seed. No surprise there. The next matchup is Thor Ragnarok.
Dark World. It's coming back.
Thor Ragnarok, the 4 seed versus the 5 seed Winter Soldier, Captain America.
Thor 3.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor
Yeah.
Ragnarok is winning for me too.
Does anyone want
Actually, Connor is disagreeing, so let's talk.
I'm disagreeing, but that's my own opinion. But I understand
That's one of your
everybody
favorite
loves
movies of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I understand. I've not seen Thor Ragnarok, so I can't like. I don't want to just put it because I haven't seen it. I know it's good, but I need to see it first
That's what
before I
I
can
haven't
put it. But
Talk about Winter Soldier real quick. What do you like about Winter Soldier?
well, it was one like I won't say the early, but it was like one of the like early experiences I had with like Marvel movies because I got them pretty late. So I don't know. It was the first really movie that I really like got into that like I cared. I mean, obviously Iron Man when it first came out, when I was younger, but like recently, I guess I like more cared about. I don't know. I thought it was interesting enough. But after seeing other movies that, let's say, Doctor Strange, I felt more of a stepping stone. With this one, I didn't feel as much as that. Like, I don't know.
So with Winter Soldier, what, like, talk about, like, the big difference, because you said you weren't into it before, and then, like, this was the turning point. Like, talk more on that.
I don't know. I definitely feel Captain America, I mean, his character and his performance was, like, what, like, got me, like, it made me care about him more. Like, if it wasn't about him, it's just about some other guys, and just maybe another character, another actor, I probably wouldn't care about the movie, but I think just his performance and...
He's a good, yeah.
Yeah, just everything about, like, that's what, like, sold me, I guess, and that's what, like, kept my memory of it, like, liking it.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, unfortunately, your opinion doesn't really matter right now.
It never does, but hey.
All right, so Thor Ragnarok moves on. 4 seed beats the 5 seed. Let's go to the next matchup, which is Guardians of the Galaxy versus Spider-Man: Homecoming. 2 seed versus 10 seed. What is everyone's thoughts?
Guardians of the Galaxy versus Spider-Man. Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy for me is
Guardians of the Galaxy, yeah.
Guardians.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simply
It
because
was,
of Chris
it's
Pratt.
just so fresh.
I'd say all of them.
Yeah,
I think Guardians is probably top 3 Marvel movies for me, and it was
Yeah,
like it was so different from what everything else had done so far because it was like this big team up that no one had really known, and they made all the characters interesting and funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're all
Within
just-
one
they're all
movie
just
instead
so,
of
even Groot is
thousands.
So, like
Yeah.
awesome,
Oh,
you know,
Groot's best.
like they're just so every character. Is
No
just
love
so,
for Drax, dude.
I have honestly never been a fan of Drax.
Oh,
Dude,
I love his
like-
like he's so dry.
In Game of Thrones in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I was like, please get Drax off screen. I hated that little thing they did.
Dude,
with
when
him
he's
and that
saying
girl.
like nothing goes over my head, I would catch
Yeah.
it. Like I love that line.
That's my favorite line of that movie. Is nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I hated that line.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious.
See, I think it's funny, but also I don't want to see him other than
Is that
his
him?
Can
funny
you-
lines.
Shake that up. Yeah, I think like as a whole, like Guardians of the Galaxy is very well written, very well directed, very well acted.
Soundtrack.
Soundtrack is
Right.
amazing.
The soundtrack is
Okay, yeah,
insane.
that was like the first film
Yeah.
soundtrack in a long time that like people went out to the stores and
And
bought a
bought
Yeah.
CD.
I still
like,
listen to that.
yeah, I do too. I remember like
The
My
awesome
bro-
mixtape.
yeah, my brother got one and I was like jealous. Like I wanted like a physical disc.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, It's amazing.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
all right, Guardians of the Galaxy, moving
Boom.
The next mashup. I keep saying mashup. Match up. Iron Man versus Captain America: Civil War. I'm gonna hard vote for Iron Man, even though I love Civil War.
I also voted for Iron Man.
I'll go for
Yeah,
Iron Man.
Iron Man.
The first time I saw Iron Man, I thought it was really, really boring, and I did not care about it at all.
Wow. I think Iron Man is one of the best superhero movies
I'd
of all
agree.
time.
I mean, I'll rewatch it.
Well, why do you say that
It just didn't hold my attention.
specifically?
The whole movie did not hold my attention.
I think at least what it did for me is Iron Man was a new character that we hadn't seen before, and
Yeah.
he's become a joke now because he's the quippy guy,
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But
And he's had a million movies.
yeah, but it was really well written. And,
He
it
got
was,
a solid arc in one movie. You
Mhm.
know, he Robert Downey Jr. nails it as
Oh,
Tony Stark.
Yeah, fantastic.
Honestly, he's well, I said the Hulk was my favorite superhero. He's definitely up there because of his arc for the entire Marvel series. When it starts going into him with his dad, creating the element, and what was that, number 2?
yeah,
Three?
yeah.
And then in Civil War with his mom.
I like the Civil War arc a lot. I
Yeah.
thought Iron Man 2 and 3 were a little iffy.
Mhm.
I don't even know what his arc would be in 2 or 3.
2
3 is him, 3 is him deciding, it's the Spider-Man 3 arc where he's like, no, I'm going to quit, and then no, I'm going to come back. Wait, no, that was Spider-Man
Doesn't-
2 where he decided to quit. Anyway.
Doesn't he have an arc with Spider-Man now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I'm really excited to
Ooh,
see
can I
that.
talk about that? Can I say what I think is going to happen with that? I think that Tony Stark is going to be the Uncle Ben of the Tom Holland guy.
Oh, do you think he'll
I think that in either Infinity War or whatever the next one's going to be, he's going to die and they're going to have the whole, or he's going to have the whole great power, great responsibility kind of role. Since we never see Uncle Ben in these new ones, I think
Right.
it's going to there's going to be a bit more of
You're
that.
totally right.
Because especially in Homecoming,
happen.
we're really setting up Tony as this father figure
Mm.
for Peter, and I think he's going to try and groom Peter to help take over the Avengers once he and Cap are gone.
Did you see that Chris Evans was signed on for Avengers 4, whatever that is?
Really?
Really?
Yeah, so that probably
So
means he's
Iron
not
Man's
going
the
to
one
die.
dying?
Well,
Yeah,
he's going to be a ghost.
he could be a
Force
Force
Ghost.
Ghost.
CGI
Force
ghost.
Ghost.
They're
They're
gonna
going to get
pie.
puppet Chris Evans.
Captain America's eating a pie for 8 minutes.
Oh.
How dare you bring that up in this household?
You still haven't seen it.
Does
But-
anyone want to fight for Civil War?
No.
Connor?
I'm surprised, honestly.
Nothing?
I wrote it down, but I agree with you guys.
I think Iron Man is such a solid movie start to finish. It
Mhm.
never dips. It only
Yeah.
goes up.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Have you
so-
seen the Civil War?
Yeah.
Why don't you say something about Civil War?
I
She
don't
doesn't
really
care.
have many opinions.
Go.
On
That's
these
not
movies.
true.
On these movies.
All right, so the 3 seed moves on. All right, the next matchup is the Avengers versus Thor Ragnarok. I'll go ahead and start because I already aired my grievances with the Avengers. I think it's really boring, especially if you watch it now. It has not aged well. Go and watch the Avengers start to finish. Don't watch it on TV or anything like that. Put the DVD or the Blu-ray, whatever. Put it in. Sit down for 2.5 hours. You will be bored out of your mind.
What's a DVD?
Yeah. Put it in your VHS tape.
Put it on your put locker.
And Thor Ragnarok has the benefit of being, a recent
New,
movie
yeah.
that we've all seen, but just looking at it from again the filmmaking aspect, it's much tighter, it's much better written, more well written.
Yeah.
Really good directing, really good effects. I thought the directing in Avengers was good, but something about Thor Ragnarok is just so unique and different,
Yeah.
and
It's
so. Does anyone want to vote for Avengers? Connor?
Well,
you
I
haven't
don't
seen-
have this matchup, but hey, I would say. Yeah,
What is
I
your
can't-
matchup?
It's actually Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and Captain America, but
Wow.
that can't happen
Wow.
in this situation, so
Wow.
that's cool.
All right. Well, Thor Ragnarok goes on to the finalists. Okay. What was the next one?
It's
Guardians of the Galaxy and
Guardians and
Iron
Civil
Man.
War. Or Iron Man, sorry.
Ooh, this one might stir up some.
Oh boy, I love
Fight
both
Night?
these movies so much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go Iron Man.
I think I would go Iron Man 2. Oh,
I'm gonna
know.
say
Iron Man
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I would say Iron Man.
I'm an Iron Man.
what do you say?
I'll side with Ethan. I did not like Iron Man. I'm so sorry.
Ben, it's up to you.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Each side convinced me what I should.
Well,
vote for.
Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, again, was just so like fresh with the Marvel, and it's just like not even just like that it's funny, just like a ton of other aspects that made it like so fresh and new that it just like makes me like giddy,
Yeah.
like it's just like
And in comparison with Iron Man, there's like Robert Downey Jr. and then there's the entire cast of Guardians of the Galaxy, which carries the entire movie.
yeah,
Like,
it's
there's no part that I don't
Yeah.
like about them.
But you could say that like it's much more impressive that like Robert Downey Jr. carries that whole movie. But like I would say that Rhodey was good. I would say that Jeff Bridges he was.
I think
interesting-
he nailed it as a
Yeah, and like even Pepper, I liked her. Like
I
that
don't
was
think
her-
she has any chemistry with Robert Downey Jr. though.
I
I think
so.
she does.
I
The scene where
because-
she's got to replace the battery in his
Oh,
chest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've got chemistry
Yeah,
together.
and it's also like this weird kind of like boss,
Yeah.
yeah,
like whatever assistant relationship.
yeah.
Gotta love Paul Bettany as Jarvis back in the good old days before he was Vision.
Vision, yeah. Oh gosh, I think I'm gonna vote Iron Man.
I'm gonna go Iron Man.
Yeah. Oh, which leaves us with a very unique
Iron Man and
matchup.
Thor Ragnarok.
So, the first movie and one of the most recent movies. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Connor. Oh wait, you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok.
I have not, so I can't weigh in. I'm sorry.
You speak on it.
Oh, sorry. It is Thor and
Thor.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
I would say Thor, and I would say Thor just because again, like it's just a lot, or at least if from looking at it from a you've already seen all these movies perspective, it's just a lot more fresh than Iron Man is. If you compare Iron Man to the 16 movies we have on here, it's a lot more similar than Thor is to the 16 movies we have on here.
Go.
I'm gonna say Thor. Iron Man, I like much better than Thor. I don't care about Thor.
It's on character.
As a character.
As a character.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
I agree.
Why would you pick that?
Yeah. So, Iron Man, I like his moral dilemma and the way he deals with things throughout the entire series of Iron Man. And in Avengers 2, when he literally creates the thing that kills millions of people and everything, this whole dilemma that he has with himself and the issues that he has with his anxiety and everything, everything that he does, it develops worse and worse and worse as the whole Marvel series goes on. And so I like his character arc better, and I like him as a character better than Thor by a long shot. However, if you were just to compare these two movies alone, Thor is blows Iron Man out of the water, I would say, simply because it's different.
Mhm.
So, one thing I'll say for Iron Man, I think we're all upset that it's so similar to the other movies, but it's because it was the best. It laid the groundwork,
Mhm.
and it made all these other movies. We can't forget that. And again, like I was saying earlier, start to finish, it is
Great.
a ride.
Yeah.
It never dips.
And I could watch it again right now and
Yeah.
still love it.
It's, I think the movie is. I think Iron Man is so cool.
Yeah.
As a movie, I still remember watching it in the theaters for the first time. The scene where he takes the tank takes a shot at him and he just goes.
Yeah.
He just pops that one little rocket and turns around and walks away.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool guys don't look at explosion style. I was oh,
Yeah.
oh, and the
The
ACDC,
guitar was coming
ACDC
over.
soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, AC/DC.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and then I'll say this about Thor Ragnarok. It does dip. It's a long movie, and there are
What part do you think dips?
basically after their brawl in the arena, it
I
does get a little slow, and they get bogged down in exposition. And then also the Hulk's character,
I hate so much in Thor.
yeah,
I like
when
it.
they're
I think
sitting on
it's
the stairs-
funny.
When they're sitting on the stairs and he's saying, "Oh, I like you so much better than the Hulk, whatever." I hate that so much. It's so stupid and cheesy to me, and I didn't even I knew what was gonna happen.
That's the
in
thing though.
scene
He's
and
not
movie.
they're not it's not supposed to be an emotional kind of.
Oh
thing.
no, I know it's not. But just watching, I'm all right, just go and finish this scene because I just don't care about it
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all. I don't want to see this right now.
And the whole arc that I brought up with Hulk and how he, there's a part where he talks about, oh, if I become the Hulk again, then
Yeah.
I'm going to,
Yeah, and
be
then
the
he
Hulk
just-
forever. And
Yeah.
then he just jumps out of the airplane and it's
That's
like
what I
time
was
to be the
talking
Hulk.
about.
Well, because that was like dire circumstances. Like he had.
But
to
the
do
way
it
it was presented, it was like it was a
It didn't
joke.
matter.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It was a very funny joke. But the way he did it was like, I'm gonna do this he was like, I'm gonna do this to impress this girl. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna-
But at the same time, like Hela was about to destroy everything, and what I don't remember what the giant wolf's name was charging it.
for sure.
Everybody like
Yeah.
it wasn't like he just decided to do it. Like he was like, I
But-
need to do this.
but
right
it
now.
was
and they
like-
turned it into a joke by having him
Yeah,
smack
yeah.
on the
But
ground.
the way
but
the way it was presented, like
It made
You
it
can-
seem like a whole arc that was gonna happen, but then it didn't.
yeah, well, and then he's just like, okay, I'm gonna jump down. Like there was no lead up to that
Yeah.
of him like changing his mind and realizing like obviously we can see that like
Also, he's
about-
sacrificing himself for these Asgards. They're not even, human. He just didn't even know about them.
I don't think he was sacrificing himself. I think he knew he'd be okay.
well,
he was
sacrificing
sacrificing
his
Bruce Banner.
Oh
basically.
yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and it really came out of nowhere that he was like, if I turn in the Hulk again, I'm gonna be the Hulk forever. Well, he was the Hulk for like 2 years, and so obviously he has some evidence of that. But like, he just jumps to this conclusion of,
Yeah, how
I'll
does he
never
know that
be
as
Bruce.
well?
I'll
Yeah,
never
yeah.
be Bruce again. Well, that was because he didn't see any like every time he was a Hulk, and he would see people he's like familiar with and like
Yeah,
loves
Scarlett
a lot.
Johansson.
Yeah,
Where-
Scarlett
where's she
Johansson
at?
and Thor. Like every time he saw them, he turned back to normal.
Mhm.
So it's like there's that solution, and he just hadn't seen these people for 2 years, so he would be the Hulk that whole time. So it's like
Yeah, it's just weird.
he just comes to a weird conclusion,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay.
Also, I
guess.
will say that I didn't really love the main antagonist. I don't even remember her name.
Hela.
Oh, I liked her a lot. I thought she was
I
one of the
liked her a
better Marvel antagonists, which
I-
I do have like an issue with.
I don't know. I just thought that she didn't get enough screen time. I guess
I
there
thought-
wasn't enough development with her.
If I'm gonna say something amazing about Thor Ragnarok is the immigrant song. Like,
Oh, yeah.
both times I came on, like the stupidest like kid smile came across my face. I was like, yes, this is what I want.
They must have paid a buttload of
Mhm.
money to get Led Zeppelin in that movie.
So the thing is, like, I read an article that recently, like, Led Zeppelin has been more lax on like letting songs be in movies because like if you like listen to anything that came out like before 2010, like Led Zeppelin is not in anything. But then like they got more lax and like there was the immigrant song was in like a Destiny commercial. Like
Mhm. It was in
So-
Shrek the Third.
was it really?
Yeah.
That's the
A
worst.
classic.
Because
That's-
Snow White,
White,
Snow
yeah.
White has to like they're trying to like
That's
sneak in
not
the
about-
castle, and Snow White just like starts
Calls all the
singing.
animals.
She does the ah.
Oh, that's
so
iconic.
stupid.
Dude, I love that scene.
But
That's
of
a
course
great
they
scene.
That's
do.
probably the
That's
best scene in
Shrek.
Shrek
Yeah, come
3.
on.
But Shrek 3,
Shrek.
bad movie. Let's not talk about it.
Hey, don't talk bad about Shrek.
Is
Shrek
Shrek the best
3 is
Avenger?
not part of the Shrek universe.
Shrek 3 is hot garbage.
Also,
Okay.
I think that was in Shrek 4.
No, it's Shrek.
No, it's Shrek 3.
Really? Okay.
Because I haven't seen Shrek 4, but I remember.
Shrek
that
4
scene.
doesn't have the princesses. It's Rumpelstiltskin and all the ogres.
Alright.
Right.
Yeah.
Who
Okay,
cares,
so let's
though?
bring it back. So Thor, I cannot tell you how much I want Iron Man to win this. Like, Iron Man not only started, but it did it the best. It was, again, start to finish, really good, and then the characters were great. Every single character, even like that weird reporter that he like slept with a bunch.
Mhm.
Like, she was like a good intellectual match for like this genius Tony Stark, which was kind of weird, but still. I thought it was directed really well. An interesting thing to note is that they didn't have a finished script when they started filming. So, like,
I don't know.
props to Jon Favreau for pulling that together and making it one of the greatest. I don't know, like, and Robert Downey Jr., like, it's perfect. Like, thinking back to, like, Pirates of the Caribbean, when Pirates of the Caribbean 1 came out, like, Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow were, like, perfect. And obviously it's gotten crap since then, but, like, that was a role made for that actor, and I feel the same about this. Like, it's hard to see where like Tony Stark stops and Robert Downey Jr. begins. I don't know. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
I'm gonna change my opinion to Iron Man.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
don't think that Thor should. I don't think Thor should be winning it all, and I think that Iron Man should. I think Guardians of the Galaxy should win it all, personally. But I think
we are talking about the best. I don't know. Just like the best Marvel movie, whatever you think.
Yeah.
That means.
I see. For me, these are my top two of all of them, and I do love them both. I do personally. I think I like Thor 3 more.
Because it's different.
I think it's more like it's just more fun. Like at this point, like
Closer to what the comics should be.
I just think that's what they needed to do with Thor. I think it was just like a really refreshing take on a Marvel movie. They didn't just do the same old kind of like they let it be like colorful and like let it be really fun and wild and get all these really wacky zany characters. Like, you know, Jeff Goldblum being himself is always gonna get like 5 stars from me. But I don't know. I just had a lot of fun with Thor 3. Like I walked out of that movie like feeling like how I felt when I walked out of Iron Man when I was 11 years old.
11 years old. That's so long ago.
I will say. So I talked about how I like Iron Man's character arc the best too. I also, like you said, I like how the movie changed the rest of the movies and everything involved with Marvel, like coming from that, branching off that, changed all of Marvel from that.
It created everything.
So you take the Iron Man franchise itself. As much as I said, like, you know, I like the character arc of Iron Man way better than any other character arc. I also like the Iron Man franchise better than any other franchise. But if you're just looking at the movies, these two movies themselves, and just comparing these two movies, I like Thor better. If you take in all the implications of, you know, what, you know, each movie did for the Marvel Universe or for the rest of the series, like, obviously Iron Man would win. But just these two movies, if you're putting them together, you just sit down, someone who's never heard of Marvel before watches both of them, I feel like they'd pick Thor.
So, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
In 10 years, when you have 6 children and you're sitting down with them,
6 little Spencers.
What movie do you think you're going to watch more?
I'm going to watch Iron Man more because I'm going to introduce them to all of these.
Okay, so let's say...
Actually, I probably won't, honestly. They'll just find it on their own. I'm not going to be like, you guys have to watch Iron Man and Thor Ragnarok. Because I'm not going to care about these movies at that point.
But a ghost
let's
story.
talk about just you. 10 years from now, you're sitting at home, like, alone.
Mhm.
You have to pick between one movie, Thor Ragnarok or Iron Man. Which do you pick?
God.
That's very mood dependent.
It is.
Is it, though?
It very much is.
For me,
If I'm just like, all right, here's what I would say. If I'm just hanging out with some friends, we're just having a good time, and we're up in this cabin in the mountains, you know, we'll put on Thor Ragnarok, and we'll have a great time.
But if it's just
Iron
me?
Man, I would be like, you know, I kind of got to pay attention a little bit, you know, I got to like get into it, and that's more of like, I don't know. Again, like with the kid thing, I would definitely show my kids the Iron Man thing more than Thor Ragnarok because I love Iron Man's arc so much more. I love Iron Man itself so much more, and so I want to show them all of this so they can see like the development. But again, if I'm just gonna pick these two movies, also you gotta add in the fact that I've seen Iron Man so many times. I've seen Ragnarok once, so at this point, I would just pick Ragnarok because I haven't seen it.
Because I've seen Ragnarok, I think 3 times now, and like, I don't think I need to watch it anytime soon. Maybe like a year from now, when, you know, like Avengers 4 is coming out, and I kind of want to refresh my memory. But like, I'll watch Iron Man every day of the week. I think it's so infinitely rewatchable, and I don't think Thor Ragnarok can do that because it, again, is longer, and it's like, it just isn't. It isn't, you know, like I keep saying, like start to finish, it isn't as strong because like, oh, also I forgot about this. The whole stuff with their dad and like, all that stuff was really cheesy and really bad for me.
In Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree.
Like all those cuts and like weird.
Flashback type.
Yeah, it was just bad. Like
What are you talking about? Weird flashbacks.
Like when he would always think about his dad and like wherever it was.
When they
in-
were
It would like go to like a really
Scotland.
quick zoom up onto the dad's face or something.
Yeah.
You're getting me on your track here, because I will say, if I had to watch one of these two movies every single day for a month, I'd probably pick Iron Man.
Because it's just so. I just like could watch it till the end of time. Like it's
It's a good movie.
like it's like Indiana Jones or like Star Wars. Like I can throw it on and I'll watch it to the end.
Yeah.
Whereas like Thor Ragnarok, I'll
Skip to the good parts.
Yeah, I'll watch it for like Korg, that like rock monster.
Yeah,
'cause he's
Yeah.
So funny, but like
Just need roll paper scissors judge for you.
I think that
Yeah.
it gave a really nice conclusion to Loki, his character arc. Well, the character arc of the two brothers and their relationship. I think it finally brought some closure where they just kind of accept that they are different from each other, and that's just not going to change. And that's something that's been building for so long across 4 movies at this point.
Connor, can you open that? That's Henry coming in, by the way.
Do we have a new guest?
Yeah, Henry
Henry!
Moonrock coming into the podcast.
Here, come
Yeah.
sit.
Yeah.
Come here.
But
Henry,
also-
all right, Henry, are you up to date on the Marvel movies?
No.
Don't look at flip your sheets over. Henry,
Yeah.
what is the best Marvel movie ever made?
Oh man, I haven't seen all of them.
Well,
Like
what
of the
was
ones
best-
I've seen,
The ones you've
Yeah.
seen, what's your favorite?
I really liked Ant-Man. And
Oh!
That got
I just
voted
liked
in the
it because
first
I
round.
love the shit they did with like the miniature fight scenes. I thought that was like the most
We
creative
did
shit I've
commend
seen
that.
in a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that. All right.
Yeah.
That's your number one? Number one Marvel movie.
Have you seen Thor Ragnarok?
I have not.
Have you seen Iron Man?
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
I've
like
seen
that movie?
I liked it, but it's like, I mean, it's kind of like,
It's about to win number one.
No, it's not. I totally agree with what Henry was about to say. We telepathically connected right there. So maybe it's because I watched it with my dad, but when I watched Iron Man, I was like, okay, cool. This is just like any type of I'm rich and I like action.
yeah.
And that's it.
Like, I really liked it when it came out, but I was also like in middle school when it came out.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, like, I think the whole like fucking Afghanistan war thing didn't age well. Like, I don't know. I just got a few issues with it. But like, I think it's a decent movie. I think it does a lot of shit really good. And special effects are killer. The plot progression's pretty great.
I think it did the Afghanistan war thing really well because like that's Tony's whole arc is he realizes that the weapons he's selling are going to terrorists, so he decides to completely shut down that part of his company. Like where he made his fortune, he's like, nope, we're done with that.
Yeah.
And he goes to like the whole thing of the movie is him trying to like fix that problem that was indirectly his fault.
And that also like speaks more to his character. Like he always has to solve the problem, and he needs to be the solution to that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's like
Avengers
the-
2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ultron. He caused the problem. It caused total destruction. And he had to fix it.
Yeah.
I guess that's the
So
problem I have
smart.
with it is it's like if he wasn't there it wouldn't be a problem, and then the way he goes about solving it, it's always like on him, and it has to be like how smart he is versus like team based.
But then,
mechanics.
well,
That was
Mhm.
before there was a team though.
yeah. Well, and he
That's
also
true.
relies on
Yeah.
like Pepper and Rhodey and like.
But does he?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
Pepper isn't used as much.
Yeah,
like,
Rhodey,
I remember.
Rhodey saves him from getting blown out of the sky. Like,
I'm trying to remember. It was like an Iron Man, one of the Iron Man cartoons where I think it was in high school or some shit. But Pepper and Rhodey got way more mileage in that than they did in the actual movies. I feel like the shit they did in that one works better. I don't want to be causing any antagonism. though. I just came in like
No, Henry,
5 minutes ago.
fight for what I believe in.
I'm sorry, guys.
Sally has no opinions.
No, I do. And it's against Iron Man right now.
Say them.
So I totally agree with what you're saying, and I didn't find Iron Man interesting for a variety of reasons, but Thor Ragnarok, which I have not seen, but I will now advocate for. I think like the other characters besides just Thor like really make it so much more interesting and compelling to me. Like even if I like hated Thor, there would be the Hulk, and then there would be like the background female characters, which are
Oh, shit.
great
crazy.
and
That's crazy.
have lots of agency in the
well,
movie.
Tessa Thompson is just
Exactly.
gorgeous.
She's
Ooh,
awesome.
doesn't matter if
Also
you see it.
great in Annihilation. My weekly plug of Annihilation. Go see it. Continue.
Yeah, so that's basically all I have to say is there's
Brought to you
Tony
by
Stark. He's a boring action man to me, and then there's the entire cast of
What's
Thor
this?
who are
Good to
funny, dynamic, and like I feel like they all have their own like
Yeah.
fun stuff, whereas it's just Tony Stark.
Also, you gotta give some props to the fun Doctor Strange scene.
Oh, I thought that was the worst part of the movie.
What?
He was doing
what's
nothing.
the fun Doctor Strange scene?
In Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange shows up for about 3 minutes, and I think it
Yeah,
was
that
because
was great. I love that.
what he was in it for 2 minutes. He served no purpose other than to say, "Hey, your dad's in Scotland," like
Norway.
nor whatever. That's how much I
It's
didn't.
Norse mythology.
That's how
Come
much
on.
I didn't care about Doctor Strange.
So now you feel how I do about Iron Man.
But I feel like Iron Man does so much more as a character than Thor, than the Hulk.
I really
in that,
want to
in that arc, in the arc of Iron Man.
I want to
Whereas
see.
Thor is just a fun kind of throwaway movie that I don't think I'll care about.
Is this the same
10 years
thing?
from now.
Guardians of the
Is it
Galaxy,
good?
yes.
Yeah. Alright, cool. Lit.
Do we want to vote on this?
One second. We're
Sure,
going
I
to
think
look
it's
at
gonna be
Henry.
split.
I mean, it's probably gonna be even.
I
I
think
mean, I haven't seen most of
It's
it.
good. Let's go.
I'm so excited.
It'll be,
We're gonna, Henry,
so
wait,
are you
Henry will be
voting
our
Iron Man?
deciding vote.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah, he'll be-
Henry.
oh, shit.
Wait, what?
That's
You haven't
right.
seen Ragnarok?
Wait, no,
I've not
actually-
seen Ragnarok.
An honor.
Yeah,
I haven't
I've
seen it
seen
either,
it,
but
but-
I'm voting for it.
I would say Iron Man though. So.
Oh,
no.
This is gonna come down to a rock, paper, scissors.
Did I convince
I'm
you?
Iron Man, yeah.
Then that's it.
Oh.
The winner is Iron Man. Wait, tell us why you're picking Iron Man.
It got down to the question of if I had to watch one of these two movies every day for a month, which one would it be? And it would have been Iron Man. I will say, Cinematography,
Is
Thor fucking kills it.
Mhm.
Love it.
It's
And that was one of like the things that got me to love it so much. Comedy wise, I was laughing my ass off in Thor Ragnarok. But the cheesiness in it kills it for me. That was the only like if it didn't have all that cheese and not
What
just,
is all the cheese that you're talking about?
so
Like, there are-
the whole thing with
The thing with Odin
Thor
on the
and
cliff.
Hulk, the old,
There's
Thor
about
and Hulk.
30%
I don't
of the
know
jokes that don't land.
the girl, what's not the bad girl's name, the good girl's name?
Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson.
Hated
Yeah.
her character.
Really?
Don't think she should
Wow.
have been.
I didn't hate.
I didn't.
I
There's-
think
there's always
I
one of
understand
those.
what you're trying to say.
There's always one of those, and they always just they never. It's like a very specific type in every single Marvel movie. There's always this one character that's like there, and you care for him, and you're rooting for him, but their whole thing is very cheesy.
The
And I-
sidekick. Like,
This like yeah, it's just very cheesy the whole time, and 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 I hate that character in every movie. It's in like what was that chick's name in the new Star Wars movie?
Rose?
Rose. It's like there's always
I don't
that
think
one.
she was as bad as that though.
Oh no,
I
no,
love
no!
her.
Valkyrie was not as bad as Rose. But I hate those characters so much. And who was that?
Why did you not like Valkyrie?
I just all right. I'm trying to remember the movie itself. The only so Valkyrie, first of all, she is cheesy. Her entire character.
She was the alcoholic.
Yes.
Yeah. Explain how she's cheesy.
Yeah. Because if anything, I would say she's the least cheesy.
I would say, okay.
Well, she's definitely less cheesy than Hulk's character in that movie.
I
When
thought
just that one scene when she's sitting on the stairs. I hate that.
I thought some of Tessa Thompson's issues, like, I thought her delivery was bad on a couple lines. Like, I remember there was one line where she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a drink." Like, I think that was more of a director kind of thing, but like, there was several moments like that where I was just like, "No, don't do that." And like, she also kind of had that like, you know, I'm a tough girl vibe, which like in the bad way where she was like saying it directly to the camera. Like, I kind of wish it wasn't so direct and she was just her own. Like, and that's like
Like when
what
she
Hulk-
backs it up though.
The first scene where she's drunk and falls off her own ship and like she pulls out the guns on the ship, love it. That's awesome. And they didn't have to like it wasn't in your face. It was just like we're introducing her and she's a badass and you love her.
And the whole awesome scene that you love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Valkyrie's versus
the
Hela?
flashback that was
That's great.
amazing. That's my
and
favorite
that
part
was
of the movie.
also kind of my problem with Hulk. Like on the opposite side, where like he was doing like, "Oh, I'm a dork." Like, don't you think I'm a dork? Like instead of just like being a dork. Like there's times where they like try to tell you right to your face that the characters that they are. I don't know.
I didn't see, like, I wouldn't say that any part of Iron Man was cheesy. Like, cheesiness is like, I can't do that. I wouldn't say there was that for pretty much any part of the original Iron Man. And so, like if I were to rewatch Thor, I would skip the parts that I thought were cheesy. I would skip those because I don't like watching them. I don't need to see them any more than the first time. Iron Man, I would watch it all the way through.
See, I really don't get the cheesiness. Maybe the bit with Odin on the cliff when he's dying.
Also,
It's kind of cheesy.
it was horribly green screen tonight. It's an eyesore.
Yeah, it was not great.
Yeah.
But I thought that bit with them on the stairs wasn't really cheesy. It was Thor trying to keep Bruce calm because he had just like got out of being the Hulk after 2 years and was like, I just need to not be around any like Hulk things. And then they're suddenly in the middle of a Hulk parade, and it's like him like trying to basically avoid having a panic attack, aka just turn into the Hulk. And Thor's just like, no, calm down. No, I like you a lot more. Like he's not trying to like, be like
It was just
cheesy
like,
and friendly, like, oh, I like you more than the Hulk. He's just like, they're trying to get out of there, and he's trying to keep him calm. Like, I never really found any of that cheesy.
I think cheesy might be the wrong word. I think it's like, it's
If
just
I
like
were
not.
to rewatch the movie right now, I would skip that scene.
It's just not.
I don't think you have a good understanding of it, so I'd recommend you not do that.
Oh,
Of the movie?
Of the purpose of that scene.
Gauntlet
No,
Run.
I understand the purpose completely, but I think that just like the line that was used in that, like, oh no, like they were acting like like high school.
It was making a
girls,
joke
like,
off the fact that because earlier in the movie,
I
Hulk was
understand- I
mad
understand
at
the
Thor,
joke.
and he said
I
something like that,
understand
and
the
then he said to Hulk, "No, I like you more than Banner," because he's like, "Banner puny, no like Banner." He's like, "Well, I like you way more than Banner."
Oh,
It's
we
just
caught on to that.
I understand the joke. I just
We get
think
it.
it was kind of poorly executed. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's a little ham-fisted.
Ham-fisted. That's a great.
What does that mean?
You know, like 2 ham in the fist, 1 in the bush.
It's like they're feeding
What's-
potato.
Yeah.
I don't get. I just don't get how that joke is like ham-fisted or cheesy or whatever. Like,
I don't get how
Look,
you
all I
think
need is,
Thor
like-
Ragnarok is better than Iron Man.
because I don't know. That's my personal taste.
We
Well,
could
that's
get
my
And
like,
our personal
taste.
taste is that we didn't like that scene.
dude.
I'm just asking to explain what's ham-fisted about that joke.
I think it's just like
So I think every time we say ham-fisted, you should insert the entire Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
And then
I feel like
insert,
we're like one tiny
these.
toast away from making some good little
The
like
B
word
movie.
jokes right now.
what?
What?
I'm not really following.
Every time
All
Hannah
right,
says
let-
something
let
weird,
me
the
explain
B-movie
this.
plays
I think objectively, yeah, Iron Man is probably a better movie, but personally, I like Thor 3 more.
Well, if you're talking are we trying to be objective or subjective?
I'm
I
not
don't-
subjective.
Either way, I still think Iron Man is a better
Okay.
movie.
I think subjectively, Iron Man is a better movie.
So we got 3 votes for Iron Man.
I'm Iron Man.
Yo,
4 Iron Man.
Ant-Man.
Well,
And then 1 vote for Ant-Man.
Go.
one vote for Iron Man. All right, so Iron Man wins it.
Ant-Man, strong
Didn't
second.
expect that outcome, for sure.
I was hoping
Which one did I pick for?
The first
Wait,
Avengers
wait.
versus Thor 2.
Here,
Definitely Avengers on that one.
I think Henry got like 3 of them right.
nice.
Hell yeah.
1, 2.
Failing grade.
Yeah, you got 3 of them right.
You tried your best, Henry.
Does anyone have any final thoughts on this bracket?
Did anybody get more right than I did?
No, you're the winner.
Good job,
You
Scott.
did.
That's all that counts, man. That's all that counts. I won.
Scott won the thing.
He got the ham fist. He got the ham fist.
Wrong hand.
Okay, so that is this episode of the podcast. I think I kind of like this better than just movie news. Like, I would love to do fun stuff like this more than.
Pixar?
Go, go.
Best films of Pixar.
I'd love to do Pixar, I think, for this. I
Wait.
have a lot of opinions.
What if we do like
A lot more than I did for this.
We could do Pixar next week.
Dude, yes, please.
Pixar bracket.
I would love to be a part of that.
what if we did like wait, actually this would be after the podcast. So we can talk about it.
So yeah, well,
Just not 60 Pixar movies, though.
there is. Well, we could throw in some like Disney
Yeah.
animation.
Or the shorts.
So thank you for listening to the podcast. If you got this far, please share it with friends. Tell them that we have video now, so it's not as boring to just stare at the thumbnail all day.
Follow us on our Instagrams that I don't have.
Also, yeah, follow our Instagrams.
At Nick Nack Zach.
I'll put them in the description.
At literally anything else.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. And we will see you next time. Like and subscribe. We're all gonna die. Bye.
Bye. Hey, you might want to hit the stop live playing button. Yeah, that one.